thing is, Dove Cameron has come a long way, and I think that in time we're probably going to see a fragrance line from her, a closing line from her. Hey, if Ariana Grande can come out with a fragrance line and call it Uri, then Dove Cameron can come out with something more interesting than that. I think that it's only a matter of time before we see either a closing line or a fragrance line or something that Dove Cameron's going to promote in the way of a project outside of Disney. And I think Disney should allow Dove Cameron to expand and venture outside of Disney because the potentiality of Dove Cameron and the possibilities are literally endless when you're talking about someone like Dove Cameron. Just the fact she can play a double role of both Liv and Maddie with two very different personalities with the utilization of a camera trick, which actually got by me, if not for an 11-year-old girl who actually allowed to me that they were using a camera trick so Dove Cameron could play both roles on this show. Originally, I thought it was just a twin, or we had two different actresses who looked similar playing two different roles, but an 11-year-old girl allowed to me that they were using a camera trick. So that kind of got by me, and I'm sure it got by a lot of people that Dove Cameron was actually playing both characters on that show. But it just shows how much talent that Dove Cameron actually possesses to be able to play two roles on a show and getting very few breaks in between scenes. It's very rarely that we see someone coming in and actually replacing Dove Cameron playing both of these roles. She does get a reprieve with a stunt double, I'll refer to her as, coming in every once in a while, but most of the time, at least 85 through 90% of the time, it's Dove Cameron playing both of these roles. Now, if you notice anything, the one who plays Liv sometimes in scenes when Dove Cameron is playing Maddie is actually taller than what Maddie actually is, and is taller than Dove, so that kind of gives it away that someone else is portraying Liv in double scenes sometimes only when it's required, but it's very rarely we see something like that done. Most of the time it's Dove Cameron playing both of these roles with the utilization of a camera trick, and I can't ever remember having ever seen something like that ever done before on Disney Channel. Again, it goes back to 2004, 2010. You'd have to go back that far when Miley was playing a double role, but never was a camera trick ever used because usually it was either Hannah Montana or Miley Cyrus in the role of herself on the series as Miley Stewart. It was never a camera trick being used. This is the first different concept that I've seen Disney use in a really long time, and obviously it's getting over both the music and the acting from Dove Cameron as an actress, no matter if you're talking about a TV series Liv and Maddie or a role on a Disney Channel original movie. It's just amazing. An example I can throw your way is Disney's Descendants, which actually airs at 8 p.m. Eastern Time this Sunday on November 15th. You'll be able to check a repeat airing out of Descendants, which is an example of just how great of an actress Dove Cameron is. No matter what the role is, under no matter what the circumstance, she always comes through for Disney and gets the job done, and the ratings reviews and the reviews critics are writing about for Dove Cameron definitely speak for themselves, and it is a true testament to how far Dove Cameron has come. Is there anybody else right now on Disney who is just as successful as what Dove Cameron is? Probably a Sabrina Carpenter or a Roland Blanchard. I just mentioned those names earlier on in the broadcast for this week's edition of my podcast on my website and on my YouTube channel at Jonathan Clarke 22. All you have to do is go on YouTube and look up some Vivo videos of people like Sabrina Carpenter and Roland Blanchard to know just how successful they are. But I mean, Dove Cameron, even if Roland Blanchard and Sabrina Carpenter are in the top position right now on Disney Channel for the ratings that Girl Meets World is getting, or anything that Sabrina Carpenter is doing in the way of a music video for Vivo, which is getting millions of views. I mean, Dove Cameron's music video for Better in Stereo has gotten just as many millions of views, and hey, if Dove Cameron ever puts out another music video, it's going to get probably even more reviews and watches on YouTube than a video for Better in Stereo ever got. And in my opinion, only a matter of time will tell us how far Dove Cameron's going to come. And I think that, it's just a matter of time before Dove Cameron reaches her fullest potential and really reaches her peak of her potentiality. And I'm looking forward to that. And that's why I've been praising Dove Cameron up so much on this YouTube channel, why I've been preaching about her, because all you have to do is give her the benefit of the doubt and allow enough time for Dove Cameron to come into her own. This new generation of Disney Channel stars, it's never been a far more creative time for Disney, and I think there's never been a better time to become a fan of Disney, even if you aren't. I think that shows like Liv and Maddie definitely have a great message, and they have something in there for every member of the entire family. Every episode of Liv and Maddie has a different theme, along with a different message, and I think that you can easily get away with rating this show at least 4 to 5 stars on a 5-star potential rating scale because of just how great this show actually is. The concept of the cheese rolling championships, for instance, is something very different. Space Wolves is a different thing for Dove Cameron, trying to be an actress on a TV show where she actually got the opportunity to be an actress. Liv Rooney having different roles on different episodes of Liv and Maddie, trying to be a space werewolf or a wolf, whatever the case may have been there, participating in the cheese rolling championships, being a basketball player, referring to herself as a jock. It's very different, playing the role of a jock and then going from playing the role of a jock to a stuck-up individual. It just shows just how much talent Dove Cameron has, because who can play a stuck-up jock or a stuck-up individual in two different roles? It's just amazing. It just blows my mind every single time. That's why I was blown away the first time I ever heard of Dove Cameron's name and saw a bit of Dove Cameron's work on YouTube. Actually, the first place I saw Dove Cameron was actually on YouTube for some of her music videos on Vivo, and the numbers almost instantly jumped at me that she was getting on Vivo. I mean, the numbers she was popping up with on Vivo and coming up with for Disney were unbelievable. And once I saw the ratings reports for a show like Liv and Maddie, I said, this show is really going to be taking over with Disney. If it wasn't going to be Girl Meets World, obviously it was going to be Liv and Maddie, and all we had to do was allowed enough time for Dove Cameron to really come into her own. And I think by 2015, early on this year, Dove Cameron had really come into her own and established herself as potentially, if not one of the greatest Disney Channel stars of all time, because she's just filled to the maximum with potentiality, and all we have to do is allow enough time and sit back and relax and enjoy the ride, the roller coaster ride, if you would, that Dove Cameron is currently on right now, because there's nobody else right now to take over on Disney Channel and knock Dove Cameron off of this pedestal, which she is sitting comfortably on, and who can blame her for doing it, because she's really the queen of Disney TV right now with her show Liv and Maddie, which is going to have a couple of more seasons, and we're probably going to get up to over 100 episodes of Liv and Maddie by the time this is all said and done, because this show really can have the distance gone with it, and you can really make something special and extraordinary out of a series like Liv and Maddie. Of course, playing a double role can sometimes be challenging, but I mean, it presents an opportunity for Disney to create, and I hope they don't drop the ball with this phenomenal opportunity to create something special with Liv and Maddie, because it can very easily be done with the reviews that critics are giving this show and how many fans are getting into the concept of Dove Cameron playing a double role. On her Facebook page, obviously she's getting a great response because she has millions of subscribers on her Facebook fan page, which is linked to her actual Facebook, and on her Twitter at Dove Cameron, she's got millions of followers as well, so she's obviously getting a great response, and I really appreciate how she's keeping us in this informative loop. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate people who keep us in the informative loop of information of their career and what's going on with them. She's always posting photos, she's always posting videos and links on her Twitter and on her Facebook fan page for us all to check out, keeping us very updated on what she's doing, and some celebrities don't have a tendency to do that. I wish more people had a tendency to do that, because the more updated we are on it, the more followers you get on Twitter, the more subscribers you get on your Facebook fan page, and the more of a great response you get. And obviously the response Dove Cameron has received has been obviously very overwhelming, and who can blame her for being very proud of herself for coming as far as what she has, and who can blame her really for showing that arrogance sometimes, because in my opinion she has a right to be arrogant with everything that she has been able to do in such a short amount of time. It's been only 2.5 years since Liv and Maddie premiered on Disney Channel, and look how far it has come, both on Family Channel and Disney Channel here in Canada and in the U.S. We've seen great reviews for Liv and Maddie all around, and that only just shows, that just a small bit of what Dove Cameron is actually capable of being able to do. 3 or 4 years from now, who knows what kind of position she's going to be in, what kind of opportunities she'll be presented with. Only time will tell. As I've said time and time again, time is really the most precious commodity, and that could be more true when it comes to a celebrity like Dove Cameron, who still has yet to realize her fullest potential. Both herself and her fans have yet to witness the best years of her career, and I'm really looking forward to finding out where we go from here with Dove Cameron. If you would like to speculate and or comment on the future of Dove Cameron, what you see in store for her coming up over the next several years, you can leave it for me in the comments of this video at Jonathan Clarke 22 by all means. You can also send me a tweet on Twitter at Jonathan Clarke 1, and you can post something on my Facebook wall, either that or by sending me a direct message on my Facebook page at HEW Entertainment. I'd love to know what your input is on Dove Cameron and where you see her going from here, because she's come such a long way in such a short period of time. Who knows where she's going to be 4 or 5 years from now. A lot of people have a tendency to ask me a lot of questions about the futures of these Disney stars. I've gotten that time and time again over the last, at least dare I say, for the better part of the last 10 years. I'll go that far back. Over 10 years, people have asked me so much about these Disney stars, where I see them going, what I think about what they've done so far, and I've just been blown away by people, especially when it comes to people like Roland Blanchard, Sabrina Carpenter, who's been getting my attention quite a lot lately with all her songs she's been dropping on Vivo, and what she's been doing for a series like Girl Meets World. Of course, Roland Blanchard, of course, has this new Disney Channel original movie called Invisible Girl coming up, or Invisible Sister, rather, coming up on Saturday on November the 14th. That's going to be the premiere of that big premiere for her, called Invisible sister. Looking forward to finding out what's going to be happening with that and what kind of direction her career will go in from there. And I'm also looking forward to seeing Dove Cameron landing a lot of either Disney Channel original movie roles coming up in the very near future or roles on the big screen. We've seen this time and time again where Disney Channel stars have had a tendency to break out, and I'm really looking forward to seeing someone like a Dove Cameron breaking out, probably even going further than what people even before her have been able to do in terms of movie roles, either for Disney Channel original movies or on the big screen. I think without a doubt in due time we're going to see Dove Cameron break away from Disney Channel and go into big roles like movie roles on the big screen in time, because she's so talented. She's an incredible actress and both likewise an incredible singer. So I think there's so much that goes with Dove Cameron, and in terms of a 5-star scale potential rating, you can easily rate her 4 to 5 stars, taking 1 star off because we're still uncertain about where we're going from here with Dove Cameron. But again, time will tell and prove out to be the most precious commodity when you're talking about a celebrity like Dove Cameron, who has quite a challenge presented to her, a very challenging aspect of her life, having to deal with the double role of Liv and Maddie. And I have a lot of respect for her being able to do that with two very different personalities for both characters, a jock and a stuck-up individual being portrayed by Dove Cameron. But both roles, she's doing such a great job with the utilization of camera tricks, and it's amazing what Hollywood can do. Making two of you for a TV series like Liv and Maddie, which is obviously getting great reviews. It was an adequate concept, and it was looked at as a very different concept for Disney to even attempt when it first came out. I remember all the critical reviews that people were posting about a series like Liv and Maddie, but I mean, Liv and Maddie really came through for Disney and gave them the reports for ratings-wise that they wanted to get. And because Liv and Maddie really got the highest ratings out of any Disney Channel show apart from Girl Meets World, that's why Liv and Maddie is in the position that it's in right now, and why they're continuing with the idea of Dove Cameron playing a double